Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to stand here today and share some ideas with you about mental strength, a quality that doesn't come naturally but is absolutely essential if you want to navigate life's chaos with resilience and purpose. Life is a battleground, and the truth is, the world doesn't care if you're prepared. It will test you regardless. Mental strength isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about facing reality with eyes wide open and choosing to act responsibly despite the discomfort. The first cornerstone of mental strength is the ability to face the truth, no matter how ugly it is. This is not something that comes naturally to most people. It's far easier to live in a comfortable delusion, to avoid the hard truths that stare us in the face. But here's the reality: you can't change something you refuse to acknowledge. The truth, no matter how painful, is the foundation on which you can build your life. We live in a world that often encourages us to take the easy route, to avoid discomfort at all costs. Social media, advertisements, and even the people around us often tell us that happiness can be bought or manufactured, that success comes without struggle, and that we should be constantly striving for a life of ease and pleasure. Yet, when you look at history, when you look at the lives of the greats, those who have truly made a mark on the world, you will notice something striking. They all faced head-on the difficult realities of life. They didn't live in denial. They looked at the world as it was and, despite the inherent chaos and suffering, decided to take responsibility and act. Truth, especially the painful kind, often forces us to see ourselves as we are, not as we wish we were. We often think of ourselves as more capable, more kind, more intelligent, or more worthy than we truly are. But when you confront the truth, it strips away these illusions. It forces you to accept your flaws, your mistakes, and your shortcomings. At first, this is painful. It might even feel like the ground beneath you is being ripped away. But only when you face that discomfort and accept the reality of who you are in this moment can you begin to improve. Think about the areas in your life where you are avoiding the truth. Is it a relationship that is faltering, but you continue to pretend everything is fine? Is it your health, where you keep telling yourself that you'll start exercising or eating better tomorrow? Is it your work, where you continue to blame others for your lack of success instead of taking ownership of your own growth? Each of these truths, however uncomfortable, holds the key to your next level of growth. The moment you stop denying them, you open the door to change. But facing the truth doesn't just mean accepting the difficult things. It also means being honest about the areas where you have potential, where you can grow, where you can shine. Many people live in a state of self-doubt, constantly telling themselves that they're not good enough, that they'll never succeed. This too is a lie. The truth is that each person has unique strengths and capabilities, but you can't tap into those strengths until you first acknowledge them, until you admit that you have something valuable to offer the world. However, facing the truth is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice. Every day you're presented with new situations, new challenges, new opportunities to either confront reality or bury your head in the sand. And the more consistently you face the truth, the more mental strength you develop. The human mind is incredibly resilient. We are capable of handling more than we often give ourselves credit. But to realize that potential, we must first take responsibility for what we're facing and stop running from it. One of the most important aspects of facing the truth is accepting that it won't always lead to immediate comfort. There will be moments of pain, of embarrassment, of disappointment. But the discomfort is a necessary part of growth. Growth doesn't happen in the easy moments. It happens when you push past your limits, when you confront the harsh realities that most people run from. And it is through this process that you gain strength. The more you face, the more you become able to handle. And over time, what once seemed impossible begins to feel manageable. You begin to trust yourself, not because everything is easy, but because you have seen the truth and decided to act in spite of it. Furthermore, facing the truth also means taking responsibility for your actions. It's easy to blame external circumstances, other people, or even fate for the things that go wrong in your life. But true strength comes when you take ownership. This doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything, but rather recognizing your role in shaping your own path. The sooner you accept responsibility for where you are, the sooner you can begin to change your trajectory. By accepting the truth of where you are, You become empowered to make the decisions necessary to alter your future. Facing the truth can be uncomfortable, but it's the only path to freedom. The longer you avoid the truth, the longer you remain enslaved to your own fears, lies, and delusions. Once you choose to face reality, no matter how uncomfortable, it becomes the key to unlocking your potential and your mental strength. Don't hide from the truth. Embrace it, even when it stings. It is only through facing what is difficult that you can create a life that is stronger, more authentic, and more meaningful. The second cornerstone of mental strength is the ability to embrace responsibility and meaning. This is perhaps one of the most overlooked aspects of modern life. We live in a world where people are often told that they should avoid responsibility at all costs, that life should be easy, and that success is something that happens to you rather than something you create through action. But the truth is, it is responsibility that gives life its depth, its meaning, and its purpose. To become mentally strong, you must first realize that life by its very nature is difficult. We are born into a world that is full of suffering and uncertainty. You cannot escape this truth. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you can take the next step, taking responsibility for your part in this world. Life will throw challenges at you. There will be moments of hardship, loss, and pain. But how you choose to react to these challenges is what defines your mental strength. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Responsibility gives you the power to act with purpose, to choose your path despite the difficulties you face. When you take responsibility, you stop being a passive observer in your own life. You move from being a victim of circumstances to an active participant. It's so easy to fall into the trap of blaming external factors for your problems. It's the economy, it's the people around me, it's my upbringing. Yes, the external world plays a role, but it is your response to these circumstances that matters most. The moment you take ownership of your life, your actions, your choices, your attitude, you regain control. This is the true essence of mental strength, the realization that you are responsible for how you respond to life's difficulties, and that response will shape your destiny. Taking responsibility isn't just about managing the difficult parts of life. It's about embracing the full scope of your potential. Many people shy away from their own capabilities because they feel unworthy or afraid of failing. But the truth is, you are capable of more than you think. Everyone has potential. Every single person has something valuable to offer. But potential can only be realized through action, through responsibility. You cannot wait for the world to give you permission to be great. You must take that responsibility for yourself. You must take the reins of your own life and lead yourself toward the future you want to create. This doesn't mean that responsibility is easy. Far from it. It's difficult to take on responsibility, especially when the world encourages you to avoid it, to look for shortcuts, or to give in to the comfort of passivity. But responsibility is what keeps us grounded. It forces us to stay focused, to work hard, and to think beyond ourselves. It pushes us to be accountable not only to ourselves but to those around us. The moment you accept responsibility for your actions, you shift from a state of confusion and weakness to one of clarity and strength. You begin to understand that the life you are living is the result of the choices you've made, and the future you want depends on the decisions you make today. Furthermore, responsibility is tied to meaning. Without responsibility, life can feel aimless and empty. Meaning is not something that is handed to you, it is something you create. When you choose to take responsibility for something, whether it's your family, your career, your health, or your community, you give your life purpose. Purpose is the fuel that drives you through hardship. It's what allows you to keep moving forward when the road gets tough. Without purpose, life is a series of random events that feel disconnected and meaningless. But when you take responsibility for creating meaning, everything changes. Meaning doesn't come from avoiding struggle, it comes from embracing it. When you face difficult situations, when you take responsibility for your part in them, you learn, you grow, you become stronger. The struggles you face give you the opportunity to build your character, to sharpen your resolve, and to prove to yourself that you are capable of handling more than you ever thought possible. Without struggle, there is no growth. And without growth, there is no meaning. We often hear people say that they want to be happy, And many think that happiness is the ultimate goal in life. But happiness is fleeting, it comes and goes. Meaning, on the other hand, is enduring. It gives you the strength to endure when happiness seems far off. It gives you the clarity to understand that life's challenges are not obstacles to your happiness, but opportunities for your growth. Responsibility is the bridge that connects your actions to your sense of meaning. It allows you to see your life as part of a greater whole, as something that has value beyond the immediate and the temporary. Embracing responsibility is not just a mental exercise, it's a call to action. It requires you to step up, to make choices, and to follow through. It demands that you stop making excuses, stop blaming others, and stop hiding behind your fears. It's about looking at your life, acknowledging the areas where you have influence, and deciding to make those areas better. The more you embrace responsibility, the more mental strength you will develop. And through that strength, you will create a life that is not only successful but meaningful. The third cornerstone of mental strength is the mastery of your emotions. And this is where many people fall short. We are emotional creatures by nature. Our feelings often dictate our actions, and for most it can feel almost impossible to control them. But if you want to develop mental strength, you must learn not to ignore your emotions, but to understand and regulate them. Emotions, when handled correctly, can be powerful guides to self-awareness and action. When allowed to dominate you, however, they can derail your life and prevent you from achieving your true potential. First, let's acknowledge the truth. Emotions are not inherently bad. In fact, they are essential parts of the human experience. They signal what matters to you and what needs attention. Anger can indicate that something is unjust or out of alignment with your values. Fear can alert you to danger or to an opportunity for growth. Sadness can tell you that something is lost or needs healing. These emotions, when understood and processed, can give you valuable insights into your desires, your needs, and your inner self. The problem arises when you let them control you, when you react impulsively to them without reflection. Many people think that emotional control means suppressing emotions, ignoring them, or pushing them down to avoid feeling discomfort. But this is a dangerous misconception. Suppression only leads to deeper issues later on. When you bottle up emotions, they don't disappear. They resurface in unhealthy ways, often in the form of anxiety, stress, or even physical illness. You cannot avoid your emotions, and you should not try to. Instead, emotional mastery is about understanding your emotions, acknowledging them, and then deciding how to respond in a way that aligns with your goals and values. The key to mastering your emotions lies in awareness and response. First, you must be aware of what you are feeling. This may seem simple, but many people go through life without fully acknowledging their emotional states. How often do we hear people say things like, "I don't know why I feel this way," or "I don't know what's going on with me"? The truth is, we often fail to check in with ourselves and identify what is happening emotionally. You need to be present with your emotions, to notice when they arise, and to ask yourself why they are there. Once you can identify your emotions, you can begin to make choices about how to deal with them. When you understand what you're feeling, the next step is to choose how you respond. This is where true mental strength is tested. Emotions, particularly strong ones like anger, fear, or sadness, can create a powerful urge to react in ways that may not be helpful. We might lash out in anger, make rash decisions based on fear, or wallow in sadness without taking action. But emotional mastery means resisting that immediate impulse to react. Instead, it's about creating space between stimulus and response. It's about taking a breath, pausing, and asking yourself, what is the best response to this emotion? For example, anger can be an incredibly destructive emotion if it leads to impulsive actions. Yet, if you pause and reflect, you might find that the anger is a sign that something is not right, that there is an injustice or a boundary being violated. Instead of allowing that anger to dictate your behavior, you can use it as motivation to address the issue constructively. Anger, when understood and channeled correctly, can be a force for positive change. But when it is left unchecked, it can lead to regret and harm. Fear, too, is an emotion that can either hold you back or propel you forward. Many people live in fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown, and this fear can paralyze them. But if you learn to sit with fear, you begin to understand that it's often a sign that you are on the verge of something important, something that pushes you beyond your comfort zone. Fear can be a signal that growth is on the horizon. By acknowledging fear and choosing to act in spite of it, you build resilience and strength. Fear does not need to control you, you can control how you respond to it. Similarly, can be a difficult emotion, one that many try to avoid or mask with distractions. But sadness can be a profound opportunity for growth and healing. It often points to something that needs attention, perhaps a loss, a disappointment, or a deeper yearning for meaning. By allowing yourself to feel sadness fully rather than avoiding it, you open yourself up to the possibility of emotional healing, and in doing so you build emotional resilience. You learn that emotions, no matter how uncomfortable, are not to be feared but to be understood and processed. The ultimate goal of emotional mastery is not to suppress or eliminate emotions but to integrate them into your decision-making and actions. Emotions are not your enemy, they are your allies, guiding you toward what truly matters. The key is to not let them dictate your behavior. Instead, you control your response, using emotional awareness to make decisions that align with your values, your goals, and your long-term vision for your life. Mastering your emotions also means accepting that you will never fully eliminate emotional discomfort. Life is messy, and you will continue to experience a wide range of emotions throughout your journey. But mental strength comes from the ability to navigate these emotions with wisdom and grace, to not let them overwhelm you, and to use them as stepping stones to becoming the best version of yourself. Emotional mastery doesn't make you cold or indifferent, rather, it makes you more in tune with yourself and the world around you, allowing you to make choices that are truly in alignment with who you want. The fourth cornerstone of mental strength is to prepare for struggle and seek growth through it. This concept is deeply ingrained in the human experience, yet it is often overlooked in today's world, where people are increasingly seeking comfort and avoiding hardship. We live in a society that tends to promote an image of effortless success, where everything should come easily, and where pain, struggle, and challenge are viewed as things to be avoided at all costs. However, the truth is that struggle is an integral part of life, and how you respond to it determines your mental resilience and your ability to thrive in an uncertain world. First, it is important to recognize that struggle is inevitable. It doesn't matter how hard you try to avoid it, life is full of challenges. Whether it's personal loss, financial hardship, health issues, or unexpected changes in your environment, struggle is something that everyone faces. What separates those who grow stronger from those who break down is not the absence of struggle, but the way they approach it. Mentally strong people understand this fundamental truth: struggle is not something that happens to you, it is something that you can choose to grow through. The first step to developing mental strength in the face of struggle is to stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities. This shift in perspective is crucial. When you view a difficult situation as an insurmountable obstacle, it becomes something to fear, something that drains your energy and focus. But when you view it as an opportunity to grow, to test your limits, and to expand your capabilities, the very same situation can become a catalyst for personal development. In fact, some of the most significant breakthroughs in human history have come from people who were faced with impossible odds but chose to rise to the occasion. This mindset of growth through struggle is not about ignoring or denying the difficulty of the situation. It's about accepting that the struggle is part of the process of becoming stronger, more capable, and more resilient. When you encounter hardship, you don't run from it or hope it goes away. You lean into it, confront it head on, and look for ways to learn and grow from it. This doesn't mean that growth will be immediate or easy. The process will often be slow, painful, and filled with setbacks. But if you approach it with the understanding that growth comes from discomfort, you will be better equipped to persevere. Struggle, when embraced as an opportunity for growth, also teaches you valuable lessons about your own character and potential. It reveals your weaknesses and forces you to confront them. It shows you where you are still holding on to limiting beliefs, where you are still afraid to push beyond your comfort zone. It is through struggle that you begin to understand what you are truly capable of. You will discover strengths you didn't know you had, and you will develop resilience that will serve you in future challenges. Each difficulty you face builds upon the last, and over time you will find that you are far stronger than you ever imagined. Furthermore, preparing for struggle means building the mental fortitude to withstand life's inevitable challenges before they arise. This is not about being pessimistic or expecting the worst, but rather about having the foresight to recognize that challenges are a part of life and preparing yourself to face them when they come. This preparation requires you to cultivate habits of strength such as discipline, self-reflection, and emotional regulation. It involves building a foundation of mental toughness so that when hardship arrives, you can face it with a clear mind and a resilient heart. In practical terms, this means developing a mindset of self-reliance and resourcefulness. When challenges arise, mentally strong individuals don't wait for someone else to come and fix things. They take responsibility for their circumstances no matter how difficult. They look for solutions rather than dwelling on the problem. They embrace the discomfort that comes with solving difficult problems, knowing that overcoming them will make them stronger. It's important to note that preparing for struggle also involves accepting that failure is a natural part of the process. Failure is often seen as something to be avoided, something that is a reflection of inadequacy or weakness. But in reality, failure is an essential component of growth. Every great success story is built on a foundation of failures, mistakes, and setbacks. The key to turning failure into success is to learn from it, to analyze what went wrong, and to adjust your approach for the future. Mental strength comes from the ability to fail and get back up, to continue moving forward despite setbacks, and to see failure not as a final judgment but as part of the ongoing journey of growth. In the face of struggle, it's also important to maintain a sense of purpose. Without purpose, struggles can feel pointless, and it becomes much easier to give up. When you have a clear vision of what you are working toward, whether it's personal development, a specific goal, or a larger mission, struggles take on new meaning. They become stepping stones on the way to something greater. When the going gets tough, your purpose provides the motivation to keep pushing forward, to continue fighting when it would be easier to quit. Finally, it's crucial to remember that the struggle itself is not the end goal. It is a tool for growth, a means by which you strengthen your mental fortitude and sharpen your resilience. It is through struggle that you develop the capacity to face whatever life throws at you. Over time, these struggles accumulate, and you will find that you have become a person who is not only capable of handling difficulty, but who actively seeks out opportunities to challenge themselves and grow. This is the essence of mental strength, not merely surviving life's hardships, but using them to become better, stronger, and more effective in all that you do. The reality is, life will never be free of struggle, and neither will you. But when you prepare yourself mentally to face those struggles with courage, responsibility, and a growth mindset, you will find that you can face anything with strength and resilience. Struggle will not break you, it will shape you, and in doing so, it will create the strongest version of yourself. The fifth cornerstone of mental strength is the ability to maintain focus on long-term goals despite the distractions and challenges of daily life. In today's fast-paced world, where instant gratification and immediate rewards are constantly available, maintaining focus on what truly matters can feel like a monumental challenge. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily distractions, messages, emails, social media updates, the demands of work and relationships, yet the ability to stay focused on long-term goals is what sets the mentally strong apart. This is the quality that enables individuals to achieve success, create lasting change, and live a life aligned with their deeper values and aspirations. The first step in maintaining focus is to clearly define your long-term goals. This requires a deep understanding of what you truly want in life, beyond the surface-level desires that often come from societal pressures or fleeting impulses. Your goals should reflect what is most important to you, not what others think you should want or what is currently trending. Take time to reflect on what you want to achieve in the next 5, 10, or 20 years. Whether it's building a career, creating meaningful relationships, contributing to your community, or achieving personal growth, these long-term goals should serve as a guiding light, directing your actions and decisions. Without clearly defined goals, it's easy to get lost in the noise of daily life, drifting from one distraction to the next. Once you have a clear vision of your long-term goals, the next step is to develop the discipline to stay focused on them, regardless of the obstacles that arise. Life is full of distractions, some of which may feel urgent, but may not actually contribute to your long-term success. The ability to discern what is truly important and what is merely a distraction is crucial. This requires you to cultivate the skill of saying no to things that don't align with your goals. Saying no is not always easy, especially in a culture that places high value on busyness and the approval of others. But to maintain focus, you must protect your time and energy. Mentally strong individuals understand that every time they say yes to something, they are saying no to something else. They choose carefully, dedicating their efforts to pursuits that will move them closer to their long-term vision. Maintaining focus also means resisting the urge for immediate rewards or gratification. In a world where we are constantly rewarded for short-term achievements like on social media, small wins at work, or quick fixes to problems, it can be tempting to prioritize these instant rewards over long-term goals. However, true success is rarely the result of immediate gratification. Achieving meaningful goals takes time, effort, and sacrifice. It requires the ability to delay gratification and to stay the course even when the results aren't immediately visible. When you stay focused on long-term goals, you develop the ability to resist the temptation of easy, quick solutions that ultimately do not serve your deeper aspirations. One of the biggest challenges to maintaining long-term focus is dealing with setbacks. When things don't go as planned, when you encounter failure, disappointment, or obstacles, it can be easy to lose sight of your long-term vision and get discouraged. However, mentally strong individuals understand that setbacks are a natural part of the journey. They don't allow temporary failures to derail them. Instead, they use setbacks as opportunities to learn, adjust, and grow. They understand that progress is not linear, and that every step, even the setbacks, is part of the process of achieving something meaningful. This mindset allows them to stay resilient and focused, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Another important aspect of maintaining long-term focus is learning to manage your energy and attention. It's not enough to simply have a goal in mind. You must actively cultivate the ability to direct your mental energy towards that goal. In a world full of distractions, this can be particularly challenging. One effective strategy for maintaining focus is to establish clear, intentional routines and habits that support your long-term objectives. Routines help you stay disciplined and ensure that you are consistently making progress toward your goals, even when motivation wanes. Whether it's setting aside time each day for focused work, exercising regularly to maintain energy levels, or practicing mindfulness to stay centered, small daily actions compound over time to create significant progress. The key to sustaining long-term focus is to break down large goals into smaller, more manageable steps. When a goal feels overwhelming or distant, it's easy to become discouraged. However, by breaking it down into smaller, actionable tasks, you create a clear roadmap for achieving that goal. This also allows you to celebrate small wins along the way, which can help maintain motivation and keep you focused. Each small step you take brings you closer to the bigger picture, and by staying focused on completing these smaller tasks consistently, you build momentum that propels you forward. Another aspect of maintaining focus is learning to deal with the distractions of the modern world. With the constant pull of technology, social media, and the demands of modern life, it can be difficult to stay focused on long-term goals. One strategy for dealing with these distractions is to create boundaries. This may mean turning off notifications, setting specific times for checking emails or social media, or creating a dedicated workspace that minimizes distractions. By creating a focused environment, you make it easier to direct your attention to the things that matter most. Ultimately, the ability to maintain focus on long-term goals requires a combination of self-discipline, perseverance, and resilience. It's about staying the course, even when things get tough, and resisting the temptation to veer off track in search of immediate gratification. It's about keeping your eyes on the bigger picture, knowing that the effort you put in today will pay off in the long run. The mentally strong person is not someone who never faces distractions or setbacks. They are simply someone who understands that the key to achieving greatness lies in their ability to stay focused on their long-term goals, no matter the challenges or temptations that arise along the way. Through consistent effort, dedication, and a deep commitment to their vision, they are able to turn their dreams into reality. In conclusion, mental strength is not a trait that people are born with, but a quality that is cultivated through conscious effort and intentional practice. It is built upon the foundation of taking responsibility for your life, embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, mastering your emotions, preparing for the inevitable struggles of life, and maintaining unwavering focus on your long-term goals. Each of these cornerstones requires discipline, resilience, and a deep understanding that life will test you in ways you cannot predict. However, it is through these tests that you have the opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. True mental strength does not come from avoiding difficulties or seeking comfort at every turn. It is forged in the fire of adversity. By taking responsibility for your actions, embracing discomfort as a catalyst for growth, managing your emotions with awareness, and staying focused on your long-term vision, you equip yourself to face whatever challenges come your way. Mental strength is not about being invincible. It's about knowing that, no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to choose your response and emerge stronger on the other side. In a world that often values instant results and short-term gains, the mentally strong are those who remain committed to their purpose, knowing that the path to lasting success is one of perseverance and hard-earned growth. So the next time you face a challenge, remember that it is not an obstacle to your progress. It is an opportunity to build the mental strength that will carry you forward to new heights. The greatest achievements are not born from ease, but from the strength to endure, adapt, and keep moving forward with purpose.